A reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. C. Proclamations against the nations, against Babylon. Chapter 13. Proclamation about Babylon, which Isaiah, son of Amos, saw in a vision. On a bare hill, hoist a signal, shout to them, beckon them to come to the gates of the nobles. I have issued orders to my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, proud and exultant, to execute my anger. The sound of a great crowd in the mountains, like an immense people. The tumultuous sound of kingdoms, of nations mustering. The Lord Sabaoth is marshalling the troops for battle. From a distant country they come, from the end of the heavens, the Lord and the tools of his anger to destroy the whole earth. Howl, for the day of the Lord is near, coming like devastation from Shaddai. Then will all hands fall limp, every human heart dissolve in fear. They will be panic-stricken, seized with pains and convulsions. They will writhe like a woman in labor, look aghast at each other, their faces aflame. Look, the day of the Lord is coming, merciless, with wrath and burning anger, to reduce the country to desolation and annihilate sinners within it. In the sky, the stars and Orion will shed their light no longer. The sun will be dark when it rises, and the moon will not shed its light. I shall punish the world for its wickedness and the wicked for their guilt. I will put an end to the pride of the arrogant and humble the arrogance of despots. I shall make people more scarce than pure gold, human life more scarce than the gold of Ophir. Then shall I shake the heavens, the earth will reel on its foundations at the wrath of the Lord Sabaoth on the day of his burning anger. Then like a hunted gazelle, like sheep with no one to herd them, every one will head back to their people, every one will flee to their land. All those who are found will be stabbed. All those captured will fall by the sword. Their babies dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses plundered, their wives raped. Look, against them I am stirring up the Medes, who have no regard for silver, no delight in gold. Bows will annihilate the young men, no pity for the fruit of the womb, no mercy in their eyes for children. Babylon, that pearl of kingdoms, that splendid jewel of the Chaldeans, will be like Sodom and Gomorrah, overthrown by God. Never again will it be inhabited or settled for generations to come. No Arab shall pitch his tent there, no shepherd pasture his flocks. Wildcats will make it their lair, and owls fill their houses. Ostriches will make it their home. There goats will dance. Hyenas will howl in its towers. Jackals in its mansions. For its time is about to come, and its days shall not be prolonged. The word of the Lord. A reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 14, the return from exile. But the Lord will have pity on Jacob. He will choose Israel once more and resettle them on their native soil. Foreigners will join them and attach themselves to the house of Jacob. Peoples will take them and escort them to their place, and the house of Israel will take them as slaves, men and women, on the Lord's soil. They will enslave those who enslaved them, and will master those who oppressed them. Satire on the king of Babylon. When the Lord has given you rest from your suffering and torment, and the hard servitude to which you have been subjected, you will raise this satire on the king of Babylon and say, how did the tyrant end? How did his oppression end? The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of rulers, striking peoples in his fury, striking without ceasing, mastering peoples in his anger, a persecution without end. The whole world is calm and at rest, resounding with shouts of joy. The cypresses rejoice at your fate, the cedars of Lebanon saying, now that you have been laid low, no one comes up to cut us down. Sheol below is astir for you to greet your arrival. He has roused up the shades to greet you, all the rulers of the world, raised up from their thrones, all the kings of the nations. They will all greet you with the words, you too are now as weak as we are. You have become like us. Your pride has been flung down to Sheol with the music of your lyres. Under you, a mattress of maggots, and worms are your blanket. How did you fall from the heavens, day star, son of dawn? How were you thrown to the ground, you who laid low nations? You used to think to yourself, I shall scale the heavens, higher than the stars of God I shall set my throne. I shall sit on the mount of assembly far away to the north. I shall climb high above the clouds. I shall become like the Most High. Now you have been flung down to Sheol, into the furthest reaches of the abyss. Seeing you, they will stare and reflect. Is this the man who made the world tremble, who made kingdoms shake with fear? He made the world a desert, destroying its cities and never letting his prisoners go home. The kings of nations, all of them, lie honorably, each in his own tomb. But you have been cast out of your tomb like loathsome carrion, covered over by the slain, those pierced by the sword, who fall to the depths of the abyss. You will not rejoin them in the tomb, for you have ruined your land and slain your people. The offspring of the wicked leave no name forever. Make ready to slaughter his sons for the guilt of their father. Never shall they rise to conquer the world and cover the face of the earth with their cities. A threat to Babylon. I will rise against them, declares the Lord Sabaoth, and deprive Babylon of name, remnant, offspring, and posterity, declares the Lord. I shall make it a haunt of hedgehogs, a swamp. I shall sweep it with the broom of destruction, declares the Lord Sabaoth. Against Assyria, the Lord Sabaoth has sworn an oath, saying, As I have planned, so shall it be. As I have decided, so shall it occur. In my land I shall break Assyria. On my mountains I shall trample him down. Then his yoke will be removed from upon them, his burden be lifted from their shoulders. This is the plan for the whole earth, this the hand outstretched over all nations. For the Lord Sabaoth has decided, who shall stop him? His hand is stretched out, who shall turn it back? Against the Philistines, in the year King Ahaz died, came this proclamation, Do not rejoice, all Philistia, that the rod which struck you is broken. For from the stalk of the snake will come forth a viper. Its offspring will be a flying serpent of fire. The poor will graze their flocks in my pastures, and the needy will lie down in safety. I shall make your stock die of hunger, and then slaughter what remains. Howl, gate, shriek, city, melt away, all Philistia. For a smoke is coming from the north, and there are no deserters in those battalions. What reply will be given to the envoys of the nation? That the Lord founded Zion, and there the poor of his people shall find refuge. The word of the Lord.